Simo.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the surprising facts that you probably would not know about Vietnam.
Okay.
And let's try not to look to the left.
Yeah. There's a man with an AK-47 there.
Yeah. Let's pretend as if we're not filming right next to a government building.
No.
Okay, so look at this, like around us, this fantastic, vibrant, non-stop chaos that we can see around us, right? I kind of like this, but I'll be honest with you, it gets old real quick.
Yes.
Okay, but it is nice in small doses.
Sure.
But, you know, this is everyday life for people here.
Yep.
But the thing is, people think about Vietnam, immediately they think about, you know, I don't know, Platoon or old war movies or something to do with, I don't know, napalm or something.
Sure.
But what do people not know about Vietnam? What are some of the things that we've actually observed in our time here? A crossover.
Okay. Well, we've actually compiled a list of 10 things that we found out when we were here. Mm-hmm. And I guess we'll start off with the traffic since we're looking at it.
Okay.
So every year, there are 21,000 traffic accidents in Vietnam, right?
Okay.
That's a lot, right? There's only about 100 million people here. Out of those 21,000, 9,000 of those people died.
Okay.
That is a very, very high percentage.
Sure.
And I think you can tell that when you look at this situation, you see that is so little.
Yeah, I know.
Oops.
Why you gotta do that, man?
That's what happens when you have money.
Why you gotta be like that, man?
I think you can tell when you look around that, you can understand why so many people die. So every single day, 25 people die in this traffic situation.
Sure.
Which is actually lower percentage-wise than China. And yeah, I mean, it makes a whole lot of sense.
I mean, there are not that many people here compared to China.
Right.
I would say that 25 a day is actually very reasonable considering the way people ride and drive around here.
Right, I'm impressed with the spatial awareness skills. It's quite impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's just, when you get used to it, this is how you ride. I mean, we've gotten used to riding like this in China, and that's why we have no problem negotiating this traffic while we're here.
Right.
Second thing that I'd like to talk about is coffee.
Okay.
Now, I've actually done a whole episode about coffee in Vietnam over on my channel, so please check it out. Shameless plug. But I was surprised at how good the coffee was. I love the fact that you can get it even in the small rural areas. But what actually surprised me the most is apparently it's the second largest coffee grower in the world here.
Right.
And that was weird to me. I didn't think so.
Yeah, because like you don't think of Asia when you think of coffee, but I got to tell you, it's better than any coffee I've had in the whole world.
No, absolutely. It's so far, hands down, it's my favorite coffee. I know it sounds ridiculous because I'm a bit of a coffee addict.
Sure.
But whatever the coffee is here, whatever the beans are, it tastes fantastic.
It's like
I love it.
Robusto or something like that.
Yeah, super, super good. Is it ever possible to cross here?
I don't know. I'm a little concerned because we've been waiting here for a while now.
I feel like it's not possible.
Yeah, did they just like give up on pedestrians? There really isn't any pedestrians here.
Yeah.
It's just people on scooters.
Actually, you're right, and that's kind of a bit different to cities in China. Is it's very set out for pedestrians. I guess everybody here has a scooter. It's so cheap.
Right.
We were looking at them. What is it like? Brand new one, 21 million.
Yeah, so it's like $1,000 or something.
Yeah.
And that's a Honda.
Yeah, and second-hand ones must be, you know, cheap as dirt. Yeah.
That's true. That is true.
Okay. Well, okay. Coffee. What's the next one? Let's see if this is possible to move. Wow. Okay.
Okay, I'm giving up.
Yeah, let's just walk here and cut through the chaos.
Okay.
I think that's the best thing we can do. By the way, not to alarm you or anything, but there are a couple of soldiers peeking over the wall at us over there.
Really?
Yes.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, the next fact.
Yes.
45 million registered motorcycles in Vietnam.
Yeah, those are registered. That doesn't include all the ones that have just still being used without like a license plate or whatever.
Right. This is, just for some perspective, guys, this is what we have to try to get through.
Yeah.
So wish us luck here.
Yeah. Apparently, the way to get across the road here is not at the pedestrian crossing.
Yeah, they don't allow that apparently.
Yeah.
I thought the traffic cop was actually going to let us through.
Yeah, but he actually didn't. He sabotaged us.
Right.
Hang on. Yeah. I guess what we need to do is when they stop over there, we just cross.
Right. Okay, so why is 45 million motorcycles impressive? It's about 100 million people here, right?
Yeah.
So that means almost half the entire country has a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Number two, America has 300-something million people, right? Only 8 million.
8 million registered
motorcycles. So that statistic is pretty insane.
This is ridiculous. I just want to get across the road. Is this possible?
This is the most difficult time I've ever had in my life to try to cross a road.
Yeah. So sometimes you just have to do it.
It's easier said than done, my friend.
Not really.
I don't know what to do. This is the most chaotic thing I've actually ever seen in my entire life.
Ooh. Well, I made it, Simo. I don't know if you can see me. You won't be able to hear me. I can see you. But I made it across. I 100% made it across.
Yeah.
See?
I don't know how this is
right
going to
here.
happen unless I get hit by a car or a bus or a bike. And 3, 2, 1, I'm going to go across. I'm gonna get hit by everything. I'm gonna dodge this bike. Okay.
All right. That you really did it dangerously, though.
Yeah.
You're supposed to walk slowly. There's a trick to it. I mean, I went through. I don't know if you got that, but I walked all the way through.
Right. I saw you.
And the thing is, you have to walk slowly, anticipate everyone, look everyone in the eye, and they see you and you walk in front of them.
Right.
And I made it through, and it took you ages, and you almost got run over because you ran through unpredictably.
Well, I feel good about what I did.
Anyway, so yes, so many millions of motorcycles here. That's definitely something very, very different. Next thing, maybe people don't know this, but people in Vietnam eat dogs and cats.
Okay.
Now, most people know that, well, unfortunately for people like myself who have a big problem with this, a lot of Asian countries actually eat dogs.
Right.
I'll rattle off a list. Number 1, China. China, you can find dog meat restaurants anywhere in the country. I made a video about it. I get a lot of slack, but it's very easy. If you open up the Baidu maps, if you ADVChina, go roll in, which means dog meat shop,
right,
you will find dog meat restaurants in every single city in China, including Beijing and Shanghai.
Right.
So, you know, it's kind of frowned upon. It's not that common, but it's still there. Okay.
It's common enough.
Yeah, it's common enough that you see it. I see dog carcasses, even in Shenzhen. See them around. Anyway.
Very common here. Dog and cat. They eat it. It's a winter thing.
Yes.
And apparently they do raise the dogs themselves and kill them around 2 years old because after that it's considered yucky and gristly.
Now, I don't know if they torture them to death here like they do in China.
Yeah, we haven't seen that. We've just seen them cooked already.
Yeah.
So we don't know.
Either way, it still sucks. I don't like it. Korea also, they eat dog a lot there as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just a kind of a fact.
Right.
But the weird thing is that in China, I see it sometimes, but I don't often see cat meat restaurants.
Right.
I see it says Mao Roll written there. I've seen it. But here you see a lot of signs of dogs and cats, and you think it's a pet shop, but it's not.
We did find it in Shaoguan, remember, in our documentary?
Yeah, we had that. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, I think people don't automatically think, when they think of dog eating, I don't think they automatically think of Vietnam.
Yeah.
I think they just think of China.
Right. So I don't know if you guys noticed, when you look around at the signs everywhere, it is in Roman characters, but with little accent marks on there.
Yeah.
And that is because when Vietnam was occupied by China, they did in fact use Chinese characters.
Sure.
And you can still see them on anything, I think I previously mentioned, like older than 1890, right?
Yeah.
But they switched over to a Romanized system for simplification.
So yes, 97% literacy, right?
Right, so they it actually contributed heavily to literacy in Vietnam, which is, it's good. I mean, there's a ton of people I met in China. They do claim high numbers in China for literacy, but I do see a ton of people. I met a ton of old people that can't read.
Yeah, me too.
And obviously characters have something to do with that, let's be honest,
Yeah.
right? It's obviously harder to learn Chinese than Vietnamese in terms of writing.
Yeah.
Reading and writing, so that's definitely helped out a lot. Right?
Certainly has.
You guys have experienced through these videos a lot of the weird and wonderful food we found in Vietnam, but one of the things that I didn't know when we found out was that cashew nuts, second biggest exporter in the world, and a lot of people don't know this, but there's an acid in the shells, between the two shells of, what's it called? Between the two shells of cashews.
Kibble.
Oh, sorry. The train's
Yeah,
coming.
I want to film this. Come back here.
I got you, you can talk.
Come back here, dude. Gonna get the train. This is gonna be awesome. Look at this. While we're at it, guys, what's happening behind us here is this absolute chaos of a ridiculousness. I don't really know how to explain it, but there's a train coming. And this poor lady over here, she has to somehow block off this street, and these people don't want to stop. They just don't want to stop. So I think it's going to be kind of interesting to see what happens here in a minute. But yeah, please continue about the cashew nuts.
So there's an acid in between the two shells,
Okay.
and it permanently scars all the factory workers, their skin. It's like very corrosive.
Right.
And so a lot of people in Vietnam, actually, what we found out is that they find eating cashews almost unethical, a lot of people.
Okay.
Even
Why?
though it's
Because
like
it hurts
used
the workers?
Yeah, it's like apparently really bad to make cashews. So
Right,
I didn't
right.
know that's where most of them were coming from.
I got
But
you.
now that I think about it, when you buy like a big, next time you go to like Costco,
Yeah.
check the label, because I'm pretty sure I have seen from Vietnam on there. And I
Gotcha,
love cashews.
gotcha.
It tastes great. It's
Yeah,
too bad
no,
they have
they're
to burn
fantastic.
people's hands up.
Sounds a bit weird to me. Surely they can't just use robots to do it, or machines?
Yeah, I see a whole lot of robot.
Maybe
technology
wear
around it.
gloves. Just wear gloves.
Yeah, I suppose. There's got to be a reason, right?
Yeah. I think this is going to be very interesting to film this. That's why I'm insisting on us staying here.
Can I just turn this off then?
No, we can continue. I don't see why not.
It's a boring shot.
All right. Okay, you can turn it
I mean,
off.
I don't have to.
I mean, you could in fact turn around so this stuff is behind. You know how Chinese has 4 tones in it, Mandarin? You know the Cantonese actually has like 9?
Yep.
And for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, that's the hardest part of learning Chinese, really. Forget the characters and everything, it's about the tones. Because it just depends on how you say a word. It changes the meaning completely. So it's kind of like if in English we said hello or hello, it then suddenly has 2 completely different meanings.
Right.
What about Vietnamese?
Vietnamese has 6 tones, so it's in between Cantonese and Mandarin.
Wow.
I think a lot of people don't realize Vietnamese is, in fact, a tonal language, and that's why you see all those little dashes and stuff over the
that's-
words. You can see, like, for example, it says banh mi.
Banh mi.
Right? That is indicating the tone, and actually, people say it's impossible to Romanize Chinese because of this scenario. But that's actually not true at all, because Pinyin is the Romanization of Chinese, and people just don't want to get rid of characters and adopt that. So Vietnam's done something very clever, and also maybe China doesn't want to get rid of that culture surrounding their characters. So that is another little factoid for you.
Well, that was kind of interesting with the whole train thing. What do you think?
Yeah, sure. I know you love trains, so.
The next thing I'm going to say that is maybe not very well known about Vietnam is that Vietnamese people don't hate Americans.
Yeah, very true.
Which is kind of weird considering there was that big war that everybody knows about. You know.
We actually filmed an entire episode about how Vietnamese people are taught to get over the past.
Yes.
Which is very different from the way China works. So we thought that was particularly interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah, because you know, China, they purposefully keep digging up the past and opening up old wounds all the time just to keep this sort of nationalism simmered up. But here, different. They don't hate Americans. We haven't had a single bad experience so far.
Nope.
So yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
What do we got next? I think so.
The last one, and this one might be unpopular.
Yes.
And we are not addressing very deep cultural differences, but for all intents and purposes, other than the motorcycles and the writing on the wall, literally.
Yeah, we got to cross over, by the way.
For all intents and purposes, Vietnam looks exactly like southern China.
Yep.
From the way cell phone shops blare music, to the chaos of traffic, to the almost some of the cuisine,
Yeah.
to the pollution, to the way some of the landscape looks. It literally looks like southern China.
Yeah, just the same way people get their vegetables in the morning. The whole culture of living here is the same.
Traditional values,
Yeah.
Chinese New Year,
Yeah. You
pretty
know,
much everything.
Yeah. I
So,
would be honest with you, besides the signs, and I've said this before, and of course the leftover French architecture, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between southern China and here.
No.
The people look very similar too.
Yep, yep.
Very Cantonese looking. You know, we both have Cantonese wives,
Right.
so we know what they look like.
Right.
So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
This was a rather convoluted episode, but I think it's kind of fun.
I think that's kind of necessary because Vietnam is pretty convoluted in itself.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard to walk around here. I kind of miss being on the bike now.
Yeah, exactly. If you're on a bike, it's so much easier, isn't
It
it?
is. You can just hop around, get involved with all this.
It's so not pedestrian friendly, I'll tell you that much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope
Yeah.
you guys enjoyed this video. It was a mess, but so is this place sometimes. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Some factoids about some other places down in the comment section. Give us a like if you liked the video, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already.
Yeah, and whether or not you enjoy this kind of chaos or you think it's the worst thing in the world, we love you all the same. So until next time, you know the drill. As always, stay awesome. ADVChina every Monday, same time, same place. Wednesdays, Lao 86, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, on Friday, just in time for a beer, SerpentZA.